Hello, and welcome to my channel, Overcoming Gluttony. My name is Alicia, and I used to weigh 327 pounds, and I currently weigh 272 pounds. And on this channel, I vlog daily, and every week I show you what I've meal prepped, and I let you look at all the food that I have in my house so that you can see what I'm doing to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I also grow microgreens with you all, and today we are going to plant some microgreens. And I personally like to keep my daily vlogs short so that this channel can be your super center of encouragement for staying focused on your health goals. I want you to be able to watch multiple vlogs in one setting without it taking up too much of your time. So today I would like to chit chat with you all about the power to propel. Okay? Propelling is going forward. Repelling is like going backwards. We have the power to propel. I think a lot of us don't recognize how strong we are, physically and emotionally. It isn't easy to live in a world that rejects you. To live in a cruel world where people purposely play pranks on you and say mean things about you just because of your size, without even knowing the circumstances behind why you're overweight. People pass judgments on us. People say and do cruel things to us. A lot of us are accustomed to being mistreated. That's the area where we are emotionally strong, because despite all this, I don't want to necessarily call it cruelty that we face, but despite all this unnecessary negative treatment that we receive, we continue to get up each day and live. There are many other people who just choose to end their lives for whatever reason. Another way that we are strong is physically. We are lugging around 50 to several hundreds extra pounds. That's not easy to do, but we're doing it. So I just wanted to use these two examples of where we are emotionally and physically strong to demonstrate to you that we do have the power to propel. We've been living these strong lives, facing adversity, carrying extra weight for who knows how long. Now it's time to convert that power to pushing us forward. Not staying the same, but going forward. Because if we stay the same, as we're aging, we're really going backwards because our health is deteriorating. So I just wanted to point out to you that you do have the power to propel. And I also want to report that I was successful with completing my 2023 goals. My breakfast consisted of 60 ounces of water and at least 4 servings of raw vegetables. I think today I probably ate 6 servings of raw vegetables. And so far, from January 1st, 2023 to January 23rd, 2023, I have been successfully hitting my goals 97% of the time. And I'm happy with that. I would like for the month to end with me hitting my goals 98% of the time. But with how many days there are in the month, that's just not possible. So what I plan to do to hit that 98% goal mark is exercise for an extra 3 hours. So if you want to stay along and plant some microgreens with us, you can. But I do want to throw out a disclaimer. I am not a microgreen planting expert. I have been planting microgreens for a few months now, and I've learned some tricks of the trade that help me. I've researched various methods of planting fenugreek microgreens, and just through trial and error, I decided to do what works best for me, what I like to do. So I want to encourage you to do your research and see, okay, what works best for me when it comes to planting microgreens. So first, what you're going to need if you want to follow my method is a container to put the microgreens in. You can use whatever type of container that can have a hole in the bottom for drainage for when you water your microgreens. So whatever type of container, whether it be an old sturdy fast food container or some old Tupperware or a pretty ceramic pot, as long as there's drainage at the bottom, that's fine. And you're also going to want to have some soil. I got my soil from Home Depot, and it is organic soil, meaning that they didn't use synthetic pesticides in it. They use natural types of pesticides in this soil. So it says organic on the bag, and this bag cost me about $6, maybe $7. And you can get a bag that is like 10 times larger than this for $8. I just chose not to because I didn't want to carry it. So I don't know if you can see this really well, but you could just go to Home Depot, go to their garden section, and look for some potting soil that says organic on it. Or, hey, maybe you could just use regular dirt that you have in your yard. I prefer to buy the soil. So here's one of my tricks of the trade when it comes to planting microgreens. I like to start off with my soil being wet, because I find that when I put the microgreens on wet soil, and this is very, very wet, it's almost kind of like mud in there. It's not dripping wet because all the water is already dripped out, and I don't want to mess up my furniture that I'm going to place this on. But this is wet as opposed to it just being dry soil. The reason why I like to put my microgreen or my seeds on wet soil is because I find that they start sprouting faster. So with your seeds, we have our fenugreek microgreen seeds right here. You want to soak them for, I would say, at least 3 hours. Some people don't soak them at all. Some people soak them for longer, overnight. You can choose to do whatever works best for you. I've had these soaking for probably about less than 18 hours. I also like to put them in a strainer and rinse them off. I choose to harvest the fenugreek water and drink it for my hair. It's helped my hair shed less, become thicker, and I've been growing more hair strands on my head. So I put my fenugreek seeds inside of a strainer and I rinse it really well. I find that when I do that, it helps my fenugreek sprouts come up more evenly and straight and not as wonky. So I'm going to put these fenugreek seeds in here. This is about 3/4 of a cup or half a cup of seeds that have expanded while being in the water. And I'm just going to put a layer of seeds across the top. So this is this batch. Now, These seeds right here are special seeds. These were frozen in my refrigerator, or my freezer, because I make so much fenugreek water for my hair that I have so much that, you know, I can't keep up with planting it all. So I just froze it. And this is my first time experimenting to see what will happen if I plant seeds that have been frozen. So I have my little label here that says frozen to put on side of on this bowl, so I'll know which seeds were frozen and which one were regular. And now I'm just going to put my seeds in this bowl, spread them across the top, and I just put a layer of seeds. I try not to have them all piled up on top of each other, but sometimes that happens and it will be okay. So there's a layer of seeds. Now what I'm going to do, and I have some seeds left over. I'd rather not have any seeds left over. I don't want to plant another bowl because I want to make sure I eat these, and I don't want to get too overwhelmed with the maintenance of keeping a bunch of bowls. Last time I planted 5 bowls, and woo! Won't ever do that again. So now we're going to put a thin layer of soil over the top. And when I say a thin layer, it doesn't even have to be an inch thick. It doesn't really have to be an inch thick. So I put a layer over the top. And I listened to one person who said fenugreek seeds don't really need to have this much soil. They don't really need a lot of soil down on the bottom, but I would recommend that you do have about an inch worth of soil is plenty. And then we're going to spread this soil. And when I say an inch worth of soil, that means down on the bottom portion right here. And I'm going to wet the top and let this drain in my sink. And then I'm going to set this in a dark spot where there's no sunlight. And we'll keep it there for 3 days as these things are doing their thing. And we're going to water them twice a day. Once in the morning, once at night. And you water it to the point to where you can tell that there's water coming out of the drain hole. That's how much water you should give it, to the point to where water is coming out of the drain hole. And obviously let it drain fully so it doesn't mess up your furniture or anything. But we're going to keep these in a dark spot for 3 days. And then after that, we'll put them in the sunlight. But we'll be sure to water them once in the morning and once at night, each day that we have them. So I will be updating you all with their progress day by day, just like I did with the first set of microgreens. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any suggestions for what I should do with these extra seeds, maybe freeze them, maybe throw them in my blender, feel free to let me know. Don't tell me to eat them because I prefer microgreens sprouted. And I'll give you one last look at my infused microgreen water here. And I'll be saying goodbye. Thank you so much for your time. And remember, you already have in you the power to propel. Bye.